Hey guys, for you today I have my February 2018 format top 10 decks video. Now about a week ago I did a tier list and metagame discussion video, but I didn't really particularly like it, and after doing more play testing and realizing that I both over and underestimated various cards and decks, I wanted to redo the video, and so that's essentially what this is. Now there's still going to be tiers, and we're going to start off with tier 2, but again it's still a top 10 decks video. Starting off with some honorable mentions, we have Infernoids and World Chalice, who I think are very strong decks that should be brought to your attention, but they didn't quite make the cut for the top 10. Starting off at number 10, we have Gem Knights, who with their new Gem Knight Phantom Quartz has multiple paths to FTK or OTK. At pretty high consistency, the FTK is about 80% consistent. The fusions have extremely high attack, which makes OTKs very easy, and their boards aren't really outable through battle. However, it is weak to disruption. Things like hand traps and traps greatly hinder the deck. Its boards are also easily broken if it fails to kill the opponent. A simple Raigeki can undo everything they've done. It also has extremely limited room for non-engine cards, but it can sometimes take advantage of players using Solemn Judgment, which should be more commonly played. When they put themselves down to only 4,000 life points, it's significantly easier to burn them to death. At number 9, we have Spiral, who just got Resort limited to 1, which means that they often only have consistency or power, in the sense that if they open Resort, they have the consistency to start their combos. However, they then don't have the power because Master Plan can't search it, and vice versa. Their combos can be stopped easily, but it still does boast lots of extenders and recovery cards to circumvent that fact. And Spiral Sleeper is a very, very potent threat. The Pop 2 is still very strong, and they OTK quite well. They don't really make the same kind of unbreakable boards with Trigate and Firewall, and is looking a lot more like its pre-Double Helix days. The Dark Spiral variant can shore up some of Pure's new weaknesses by offering more consistency and power in their combos with outside cards. Next, we have True Draco. Masterpiece remains one of the most powerful cards in the game, being immune to 2 of the 3 basic card types and being able to pop a card on either player's turn. Hits already sustained on the Forbidden Limited list are very noticeable when you play the deck. Dynamite is sorely missed. The Invoked variant offers more depth and covers for True Draco engine weaknesses, while the Spellbook variant adds much needed draw power for turboing out Masterpiece. In other words, the Invoked variant adds something completely new, while the Spellbook variant makes what True Dracos already do a little bit better. The deck still loses to Kaijus and Lava Golem, and frequently to Evenly Matched. The deck is also still dependent on Dragonic Diagram for its consistency in searching out Masterpiece. Next we have Paleozoic Frogs. Bottomless Trap Hole went to 3 on the ban list, which is a huge boon for the deck, and Myrmelio is now a better normal summon option to tack in. Solemn Judgment going to 1 also helps the deck indirectly, although they cannot chain Paleozoics to summon to Solemn Judgment. It does help slow down the format, which is definitely to their advantage, and it negates problem cards like Evenly Matched and Hatronade, which it loses very hard to. It has excellent grinding capabilities and controls the pace of the game, especially now that Resort is at 1 and Spiral should be less prevalent. Resort was a huge issue for the deck being able to do anything. Totally Awesome is still difficult for many decks to play around, and the Frog engine generates a lot of card advantage to keep the deck going. Tier 1.5. Starting with this, we go into Dinosaurs, who've retained most of their core combo cards. Their new Monster and Double Evolution Pill give very consistent access to strong opening boards, and to cards such as Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which creates a lot of onboard pressure as an easily accessed main deck boss monster. It also has access to very good stun cards such as Logia Dolka and True King of All Calamities going first, and has very easy OTK access going second. I think this deck is going to be a real terror, because not many people are going to be really citing for it, and so they're going to drop their huge monsters, and really, they're just going to wipe you off the face of the planet. Next, we have ABC, who continues to evade the Forbidden Limited list. It is at full power. It has consistent opening plays, but is still dependent on Union Hanger. So if Union Hanger gets, say, destroyed or banished by Twin Twisters or Cosmic Cyclone, that can cause the deck a lot of problems. It does overpower most decks if it is unhindered. ABC Dragon Buster is a 3,000 attack point monster that can banish as many cards as the deck needs to. Its first turn boards can be virtually breakable or easily swept aside, depending on what your opponent opens. Deck is very weak to cards like Evenly Matched, Kaiju's, Lava Golem, and Field Wipes, but if your opponent doesn't open any of those, then they really aren't going to be able to get through your Decode Talker and Dragon Buster, and possibly even a Macabre if you're playing the Invoked engine. Speaking of which, it has lots of room to incorporate outside engines and non-engine cards. There is the Invoked variant, there's also the Cockadoodle-Doo and Destrudo with Dragon Ravine engine, and they can fit in lots of hand traps and traps. Coming in at number 4, we have Burning Abyss. It still benefits from the fact that hand traps are very inefficient at disrupting its plays, and it can consistently open Dante and or Beatrice of which most decks still struggle to get around. They definitely benefit from Torrential Tribute going to 3, although the deck is still hurt by Master Rule 4 as they have not yet received Cherubini. With that, they also struggle outing large monsters, but it is very good at grinding. It also has many floodgate options, such as Anti-Spell Fragrance and Mistake, to bring decks down to its level. And it smoothly runs 3 of both Twin Twisters and Cosmic Cyclone if needed. If Pendulum Magicians still continue to be good, if there are trap-heavy decks, they can deal with them. Lackluster Soldier and Orbital Hydralander are some really strong main deck monsters that can back up Beatrice. Considering we have no Cherubini yet, they are very important. Deck also has access to Fairy Tale Snow, which is going to be an extremely strong card this format. Moving into Tier 1, we're going to start with Trickstars, who are untouched by the Forbidden Limited list. Reincarnation, believe it or not, is still at 3. The deck is anti-meta by design, and will struggle to climb to the very top, especially in an undefined format. Its strength really depends on its ability to specifically counter certain decks, and in that sense, it can't be the best deck, because if it is, it will have a difficult time running all of the cards necessary to beat all the different decks. It does struggle in engine with large monsters. Anything over 1800 attack points is a problem for the deck, but it has Scapegoat for Boar Load access, which can both end games and give them outs to those large monsters. It plays relatively well through most hand traps, and like Gem Knights, in a lot of ways, it will take advantage of some players running Solemn Judgment, and it has the ability to run a large number of disruption cards. It can fit in quite a few hand traps. I think that's one of the biggest advantages Trickstars have, is that their engine is pretty small. At number 2, we have Zombie Lightsworn, which I can say I personally underestimated a lot. It does still have some consistency concerns, and does open some unplayable hands, and can be fragile and unable to play through Disruption the very first turn if it has not so great of a hand. It does have very explosive opening plays, and the consistency is helped by Curious the Lightsworn Dominion. It still 2-walks many powerful monsters, and it does actually have recovery if it does get its engine started in the first place. Benefits massively from power cards such as that Grasslook Screener and Brilliant Fusion, and Fairy Tale Snow is still legal at 3, which is, again, an extremely strong card going into this format, and it can take full advantage of it. At number 1, we have Pendulum Magicians, and kind of by extension, kind of other Pendulum archetypes with it. Double Iris Magician and Scroll Acrobat Joker got banned, and the Pendulum Graphs are now only searchable through Duelist Alliance. However, they do still boast a lot of new combos with Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon and Naruto, the Moral Leader, offers Spell and Trap Negation, which protects the deck. And Chronograph Sorcerer can fill in for Double Iris and Scroll Acrobat to some degree. The deck can also be combined with other Pendulum archetypes, such as Mythical Beasts, Metal Foes, and Zephyra, to replace some of the lost power it lost in the last ban list. However, it is still an extremely powerful deck. I don't think it really needs too much explaining as to why it's powerful. And that is the end of the list. So tell me what you think in the comment section below. If there are any of these decks that you want me to look at closer in specific, please tell me. And until my next video, I will see you guys later. Bye.